Module 3, Chapter 11. We're skipping around a little bit because we need to talk about where the actual drama takes place. So first we're going to talk about the three basic characteristics of theatrical space. Number one, the degree of formality. Is it someplace wonderful like the Majestic versus a show at a middle school cafetorium? Number two, the size. Is it seating for 1,000 or only 50? And number three, the configuration or the arrangement of the actor-audience relationship. In other words, where does the audience sit? We're going to talk about theater configurations. There are four main types of stages. The first is the proscenium stage. This is what we normally think about when we go to the theater. The audience sits in front of the stage and looks at what's going on through sort of a picture frame called the proscenium. The second is the thrust stage, and it's if you took the proscenium stage but thrust it out into the middle of the audience. So now there are audience on three sides of the action and still a backdrop. The next is called the arena stage, and it's also called in the round. There are audience on all the sides of the stage. And the next is the flexible stage or black box. Typically we talk about a black box because it is a flexible space, it is a flexible stage, but not all flexible stages are black boxes. Here's a little more information about each type of stage. The theater type of the proscenium, the audience actually sits facing the stage. As we discussed before, they look like through a picture frame. The thrust stage, audience sits on three sides of the playing space as if the stage had been thrust into the audience. The arena stage, the audience sits on all four sides as in an arena at a football game. It's also called in the round. And a flexible stage, they're variable and flexible. The audience may be placed anywhere. The wings. No, they don't fly away. The wings are actually the sides of the stage. When an actor is standing on stage and they exit off stage left or they exit off stage right, they're actually going into the wings. And here is a photo of what it looks like when they are on stage. The black box theater. The black box looks exactly like its name. It's a black box. The seating can be moved in many different configurations, giving it a huge amount of flexibility. So it is a very flexible space. It's usually used for non-traditional works, something different or weird, new or untested plays. Things with a low budget, you don't have to use a lot of scenery and spend a lot of money because the stage is very intimate, it's very small. And for student productions. They don't want the students to take up the big main stage, so they usually have the students perform in the black box. There are several other types of flexible stages. People can perform pretty much anywhere. In this first picture, they are performing actually on a moving bus. The second picture, I believe they're in some sort of a basement. You can see the metal above. It doesn't look like it's a regular type of theater for sure. The third space is very different. You can see people standing above on a rail and sitting down on a bench. It looks almost like they're in a parking garage. The fourth picture, I believe they're in a country western nightclub. You can see some musicians in the back behind the lady. This space, they look like they're performing outside for sure. You can see the trees in the background. And this other picture, they're performing right there on the middle of the street. In this last slide, we're going to talk about the green room. The green room is the space in a theater for performers to relax before or between scenes. It's basically kind of an actor's lounge. One interesting theory as to why it's called the green room is that they used to put billiard tables in there for the actors to play with and relax acts during their scene breaks. Because the billiard tables were green, they called it